I've been trying to figure it out though. Check it. Yeah. I heard them say he on his Kendrick dish. I really think they mean my penmanship. They take my kindness for friendliness. I know they hope to see me penniless. I keep it moving like a Michelin. Yeah, I'm trading rooms, no more fitting there. I'm too cold to feel warm again. Yeah, whether you like it or not, I'm storming in. There's money pouring in. I had to make it rain on these women, cause why live life without a little sin? I won't be poor again for the 50th time. Leave me alone, can't do business with too many men. And that's enough said. Bitch, I'm well fed. It's up to you to pick up the crumbs and get a little bread. I'm watching Walking Dead. I feel misled. Who knew taking a shot was the way to get ahead? This is love. Yeah. 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 This is love. This is love. Check it. Yeah. I smoke weed to make the pain fade. I can't cope any other way. Yeah, I'm feeling like another lazy day. Damn, when it was supposed to be leg day. Yeah, I've been searching for a little praise. Yeah, my mind been stuck in a maze. Yeah, I've been going through a little phase. I need to disengage. All I feel is rage. They all catching strays. It took me a long time to map it out, but a nigga stuck in his ways. Now I'm calling plays. Since they playing hardball, taking it off the back like the older A's. I'm seeking temporaries with a little shade. A peace of mind is the only food that I crave. I'm watching Walking Dead. I feel misled. Who knew taking the shot was the way to get ahead? This is love. Yeah. Yeah. This is love. Yeah. Man, you gotta love yourself. And you gotta take a shot. That's the only way to get ahead.
Ooh, wake that ass up, baby. Welcome back to another episode of Wake That Ass Up. I am your host, Leroy Mitchell. We're bringing sports, news, entertainment, and life, man. Because life been lifing. Life been here, y'all. Life is really here. All right, for life today, I'm going to start off with life before I get into what else we're going to talk about today. But for life, all right? Life is real right now. 2026, I think is slapping a lot of people right upside they look at here. Bam, 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 bam. People getting hit from everywhere, okay? I think this is the year of truth. I think this is the year of, like, reality really setting in. I feel like the last about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years or so, people have been living in La La Land. But I think reality is starting to set in as to, one, how much a lot of people really don't fuck with each other. A lot of people, to be honest, don't really mess with each other. I think there's been a lot of fake friendships built in the last 8 to 10 years, or probably for longer than that. But a lot of fake relationships built. A lot of things have been just on the falsified side. It's on the fake side. We don't know what's going on over there. Okay, but this year, everything is about truth. Everything is about living your truth, living your reality, and taking things for what they are and seeing things clearly. And if you are an individual who has not understood that yet, you're probably struggling in 2026 right now. You ain't gonna be able to lie your way through things no more. You ain't gonna be able to scheme and scam. Yo, what happened to all them damn real estate scam artists? What happened to those people? Oh, I can help you flip a house and make a bunch of money. They disappear real quick. What happened to all them damn tech people? You can get a company and you can make all. What happened to all these crypto people? You can get where everybody going? Okay, all that fake shit gone. You ain't gonna be able to trick and scheme and scam your way into things anymore. You're gonna have to, one, be a person that has something to stand on. That means you got morals, you got values, okay? You got honor, you got a code, you got something that makes you you, okay? You're not just gonna go with whatever they say on TikTok. You're not just gonna be the next trend. Okay, you're not gonna be the person that just does a little dumb dances just so someone can give you a like or a view. Okay, you're not gonna have the chat on. The reason why I don't have chat on, y'all, and I got rid of chat, I'm just being just 100% honest, is because it's just too fake. It's fake. I don't know any of you in real life. I'm not gonna come to anyone's aid. I'm not gonna act like I'm here to truly make your life better in any way, shape, or form. I'm only here to entertain you at the end of the day and speak my mind and give my opinion. So for me to have a long, drawn out conversation that I really don't want to have, because to be honest, I don't even like people like that. To be honest, just give me a bunch of cats and dogs and animals and I'd be straight. I don't even like having conversations with individuals like that, because most of the time those conversations don't go anywhere. They don't. Because for me, if we're not talking about ideas, if we're not talking about creativity, like health, growth, things like that, well, then what are we talking about? And the vast majority of individuals don't want to talk about things that will make their minds, one, think further and harder, and then two, force their bodies to have to do some work they don't want to have to do, because people are just lazy. So having conversations about, oh, what happened about that, or what happened with that, I don't got time for that. All right, and I really don't care too much what most people are doing. I got too much of my own things to be doing, to be caring about what everybody else is doing. So that's why I don't have chat, okay? Because you can't just give all that energy to everybody, all right? As human beings, we're meant to vibrate in a certain frequency, in a certain space, in a certain area. If you think you about to be taking in all this information and energy from everywhere and think you're going to have a good mental headspace, you're not. That's why most streamers, they do it for a little bit and then they either quit and never ever stream again, or you don't see them for a very long time. Because mentally you can't take in all that energy and be fake. You out there just saying, hey brother, I love you. Hey, what's up, bro? How you doing, fam? How you doing? Hey girl. Oh yeah, you're so pretty. Hey, how did no. All that fake ass shit. You doing that shit for money. And I ain't here for no money. Okay? I ain't here to be fake. I ain't here. So I'll just remove the chat. I don't care. A lot of those streamers, they got a chat on y'all, it's because they want the money. Most of them don't want to do none of that talking, conversing, all that. They do it because that's the only way they getting paid. They ain't getting paid from the ad revenue. They ain't getting paid. They getting paid by y'all donating whatever y'all donate to give y'all a little 2 cents. And I ain't mad at your little 2 cents. But I'm telling you, as a person that is trying to show y'all authenticity, it is not good for your brain to take in all that information. It's not. It's not good for your brain. Think about it. If you were outside and every step you took, somebody was saying, hey this, hey that, hey this, hey that, hey this, you'll be starting to slap people like, get the fuck up my, like, you'll be doing all types of crazy shit. You're just trying to get to your destination. That's the same what it's like online. And then you want to add the robots and the body. Ooh, bad. Okay, well, back to the life talk. Look at me going on a little rant there. Going on a little rant there. This year, you got to be yourself. You have to be yourself. Be your true self. Chase who you are. Remember who you are, or find who you need to be or who you want to be. All right, you got to let go all the negativity, all that negative energy you may have had or harbored towards people in the past, or what have happened or what's going on. Just let it go. Just let it go, okay? It's time to just be happy, be honest with yourself, and move towards your future. A lot of us been on the path, like I said, with the wrong people, because we've been living in la la land. We've been living in this fake ass world. So we've been on this road with a bunch of people that we're not supposed to be on. And this year, you're seeing a lot of people break up, a lot of people not stay together, a lot of things separating. Why? Because now the roads are splitting, and you're either going to truth and honesty and who you need to be and becoming the best version of yourself and chasing your glory and your destination, or you going right down that same path you've been on and that shit going right off a cliff. It's that simple. It's that simple. So this is the year. You're gonna get yourself together, you're gonna get your mind together, your money, your body, your everything, your spirit, all of it together, or you're not, and you're just gonna go downhill and the separation is happening. It's that simple. There's not gonna be a middle class, there's not gonna be three things. There's gonna be either the people on this side, the people on that side. And you get to choose which one you want to be. And I think a lot of individuals are gonna be in for a shock when they realize that, hey, Maybe the people that you were with, or maybe the individuals that you were messing with, like, they don't really mess with you like that. And you can't be mad at them because maybe they're growing. Maybe you gotta let some people go because you're growing. All right? And this is family, this is friends, this is anything. Doesn't matter. All right? You gotta take life now and grab it, okay? Look it right in this motherfucking face and say, okay, yeah, you're right. I gotta be me. I gotta see me in life. I can't be seeing all these other people in life. I gotta see myself in this in the mirror. I need to see me. The reflection needs to be me. All right. You need to reflect yourself in life. Okay. What do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? All right. That's the life talk for today. All right. Let's get into some other stuff today. The economy is ass. I try to tell people the economy is gonna be shit, but they ain't want to listen. Um, there are maybe a few sectors in our economy that won't be affected by AI and all this stuff that's going on. Maybe a few. The vast majority, AI is coming to take your job. Um, January, we're already in February 2026. Crazy. Years just go by like that now. January, we saw the worst layoffs since 2009. Let's see what they talking about. Since people think there's gonna be some jobs out here.
According to a new
Let's look at the numbers.
Outplacement firm Challenger Grain Christmas, U.S.-based employers announced more than 108,000 job cuts in January, marking an increase of 118% from the cuts announced the same time last year.
Look at that. U.S.-based employers, okay? I live in the U.S. I'm talking to people in the U.S., okay? U.S.-based employers announced 108,000 job cuts in January. That means them jobs ain't coming back. They gone. An increase of 118%. Y'all ever get a 118% raise? Cause that'd be nice. Year over year. That's crazy. Crazy. Y'all think this trend is gonna go what? More jobs are coming? Y'all think they building these factories and all these warehouses for people? They building them for the robots. The robots gonna be working in them factories. The machines gonna be in them factories and these big ass buildings and these data centers and shit like that. Ain't gonna be no human beings in there. A few, not a lot.
Roughly 40% of last month's layoffs can be attributed solely to Amazon and UPS.
Why? Why? I see. You see, because the robot's gonna be in there, moving the packages around and doing all that, and drones gonna be dropping the stuff off. It ain't gonna be no human beings. That robot's taking your money. So all y'all people at Amazon thought y'all was just living life good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they pay us 20-something bucks an hour. We work about 13-hour shifts, but we get good money. Good luck. The robot's coming.
Companies cut 16,000 and 30,000 jobs respectively. The UPS cuts were tied to its ongoing wind down of its delivery arrangement with Amazon. Ted Rossman joins us now.
And these UPS, FedEx, all these truck drivers and all that, y'all jobs being taken too. Y'all better go look at these new things they got coming out with this tech, man. Telling you they not gonna need people to do a lot of things. Okay, they're gonna need very few people to do pretty much anything. Like once they get it, and especially once they get the infrastructure right and set up, and they build the world around AI, which they're going to do, they better get universal income coming.
He's a principal analyst at personal finance website Bankrate.
People jobs
so
gone.
What are the biggest reasons for these cuts?
Well, there are a few things going on here. There's a lot of uncertainty that's been interjected into the market really ever since tariffs were announced last April. We haven't totally recovered from some of that shock to the economy. Businesses are in kind of wait and see mode. The artificial intelligence boom is also leading to some layoffs. I mean, in some respects, it's good that people are more productive. It's just not as good that people are losing jobs or not being.
Okay, so here's what they're saying. Number 1, contract loss. 2, economy. 3, restructuring. 4, closing. 5, AI. 6, cost cutting. 7, demand loss. EV tax credit, mergers, tariffs, relocations. Man, it don't matter what the excuses are. People losing their job. How they gonna pay their bills?
Hired as a result. Some of the sectors that have been most affected include technology, transportation, and healthcare.
Let's talk more about the industries and why they're seeing the biggest cuts.
Yeah, healthcare is an interesting one because that's actually also one of the areas where we're seeing the most hiring. So that's a little bit weird. We're seeing a lot of hiring and firing. There's been a lot of mergers and acquisitions.
Okay. Also, what's happening is y'all know that the U.S. changed what a profession is, right? So they reclassified what a profession actually is. Once they did that, it only makes sense for these companies to fire the people who are making X amount of money and they've been there for X amount of years, or to move them out of the way or offer them a severance or something, and then rehire people at a lower value, at a lower rate. It's just business. So you're gonna see a lot of people in certain industries like healthcare, because now as a nurse, that's not a profession. You're not you're not like a professional, I guess, anymore. Here, let me get the professions list. Let me get the what's a profession, what's not a profession, real quick, so we can be accurate. I ain't trying to tell somebody they're not a professional and they're gonna be Leroy Mitchell said I'm not a professional. Well, listen, I ain't say that. The damn U.S. government said you're not a professional. You know what I'm saying? I ain't I don't know. Shit, you better go get you a professional job. So let me see. They gotta tell you that when they did this is people thought it was sweet. Nah, it ain't sweet. All right, here we go. Let me see. Here we go. Let's see. What does the U.S. government? We gotta see. Okay, so here's a list of the degrees that are not classified, okay, as professionals. Just like real quick. Nursing, physician assistants, physical therapists, audiologists, architects, accountants, educators, social workers, for example. So if you work in any of those fields, or that's your title, there's a good chance if you were making a substantial amount of money and the company looks at their P&L and say, hey, we checking our expenses and shit, our employees making a good chunk of money. Let's see how we can now maybe cut from here, since they made these new rules and regulations that, hey, Miss Nurse, that's in charge of making sure my blood get taken out right and my blood pressure and all that stuff. We got to cut your salary about 15-20% because, here's the justification. You're not a professional. So a lot of teachers, especially, if you're a teacher, good luck. If you're like a regular teacher, like a regular smuggler teacher, I'm talking about the ones that do anywhere from K4, K3, K5 to, like, if you're not a professor at a university, you ain't making no money. It's over for you. If you were making money, they're going to move you out of your position, and they're going to get some new teachers in there to babysit them kids, because they ain't teaching anyways, to babysit them kids at a lower value. I just watch. I know people in teaching. I know my lady a teacher, so I know firsthand. I'm telling you what's happening. I'm telling you I'm hearing it from the horse's mouth. I'm telling you what's happening. If you are a teacher, or you think about getting into teaching, you're never gonna make any money in that profession ever again. There was never any money ever paid to teachers to begin with, but now nothing. It's about to be capped off at, like, good luck. 60K if you lucky, 65K. You probably gonna have to be working 20 years with 5 master's degrees, and then you still ain't gonna make no money. All right, so a lot of these jobs being removed and then jobs being added in the same fields or sectors are because they're getting rid of the people who make a substantial amount of money, 80, 90, 100,000, whatever the K, whatever you want to say a year, and they're bringing in the people, they're gonna give them 30, 40, 50. That's what they're doing. I'm telling you, if you know somebody in these fields and you had a job and you lost your job, it's probably because you were making a little bit too much money, and to be honest, your job wasn't as valuable as you thought it was. Mid-tier people in tech companies, mid-tier people in healthcare, mid-tier people in damn near every sector, they're getting let go, and they're going to get replaced by either robots or people who are going to take substantial a substantial amount less than you would take to do the same job. That's just what's happening, and it's sad, but it's just the
And
way
kind
the
of
world
shakeouts
works.
in the healthcare sector. We're generally upbeat about the future of healthcare. We have an aging population. We have a great need for healthcare workers. So that one's not as much of a concern. I would say also that in the long run, we're pretty upbeat about things like technology and transportation as well, just because we continue to live in an ever more so tech savvy culture. Transportation, I mean, you talk about e-commerce and just how important that is. So some of this may be kind of temporary noise as there's a bit of a recalibration. We've had a weird few years in the economy, really ever going back to the pandemic. And then afterwards, we had that whole great resignation thing and everybody was switching jobs. And we're still settling back to some form of normal.
I do want to ask you what direction you think the job market is going into for the rest of the year.
The job market has been weakening, but back to that point about normalization, in some respects, it's really just back where it was in, say, 2019 or early 2020. We saw record levels of job openings the past several years, and especially in 21, 22, a ton of people were job hopping. So even though vacancies are down, they're still at or even slightly above where they were back pre-pandemic. The unemployment rate right now is 4.4%. That's about a point higher than its recent low a couple of years ago, but it's still pretty low in the historical context. I get the sense from Federal Reserve officials.
Nah, see, when these people try to give you data, you gotta listen closely. Don't tell me it's back to what it was in 2019 if it wasn't good in 2019. Take me back to a point where it was actually good and show me those numbers. And they never do that. They always try to compare it to something that's like isn't as bad. Like, nah, it still was bad though. COVID was bad. What y'all talking about? We all know what was happening in 2020. People were struggling still. It was like they act like we didn't live through it. Like it wasn't just 6 years ago and shit. Damn, 6 years was COVID. Time be flying, don't it? Time be flying. But as far as jobs go, for me, I think we are having a population that's aging like rapidly. And I'm talking about from everybody from people who are 50, 60, 70 to the people who are 20, 30 and 40 who are aging real fast due to their habits and what's going on in the world. And people Gen Z look old as a motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie. I'm 35. Okay, I'm 35 years old. I be seeing people younger than me that be looking so old, and I don't understand. I mean, I know why. I get it. I do understand why. But people aging rapidly. They are. I don't know what's going on with people, what they eating, what's going on with the technology and the devices. I don't think people outside enough. Me included. I gotta get outside more. That's one of my big things for this year. As I'm healing my body, I got a couple nerve issues. I got nerve damage out of nowhere. I mean, it just smacked your boy out of nowhere. I mean, it not really out of nowhere. Football in high school, football in college, mixed martial arts, all that stuff. Yeah. The physical damage was definitely there to cause it, but it was more mental than anything. Like I was going through a lot mentally, and I didn't know that like once your brain starts to go into a different space, it starts to affect your body in different ways. Like I knew, but I didn't really know until I caught this nerve damage, and I thought it was all types of issues. I thought I tore ACL. I thought I had this. I thought I had that. Nah, my damn nerves just took the whoo. So like walking became difficult. Boy couldn't even walk. I mean, I'm still figuring out how to walk again, almost. And half of that was stress that I learned. I learned that, oh man, life hit me boom, boom, boom with a spirit bomb or something. I don't know if to all my damn Dragon Ball, life hit me with a spirit bomb. I'm an individual who loves to do things physically, like to be moving and doing and grooving and creating and all that stuff. And that kind of got taken away from me. And then I had two kids like back to back, and I wasn't prepared for that at the end of the day, and I had no help, so I had to just dive full daddy duty mode, and I wasn't ready for that mentally. But I had to dive into it, and I did it, and I'm still doing it. I love my kids, but I ain't gonna lie, that smacked the brakes off my brain. That was difficult. I was not prepared for that. I was like, whoa, I am not prepared for this mentally. I thought I was, but I'm not. I got the skills to do it. But when you got to sit there and take care of something and you can't do what you normally used to doing, you got to prepare your mind for that. And I wasn't prepared for that mentally. So that slapped me, and then I'm just sitting down a lot, and I ain't moving my body, and all these things start happening, and before you know it, the nerve issues start jumping in. And I was like, damn. So then I'm still trying to do other things. I'm like, you know what? Let me see if I can fight, and let me see if I do other things to get my body back. I can get it back. I can get it back. And I'm trying to do all these physical things to try to get myself back, and I'm making everything worse. Everything's just getting worse and worse and worse because I'm not realizing that a lot of what's going on right now with me is in my head, and me acting like I'm some type of mentally strong person that I know I really am. But in certain situations, you gotta just come clean and be like, nah, wait, I was not ready for all this. Wait a fucking minute. Hold the fucking fort. How did this start? When did this get like this? I don't remember any of this acting like this. What? You just start having weird thoughts and questions, and you don't know what's going on. But then you gotta sit down and say, yo, this is what I guess I asked for. This is what I wanted. This is what comes with the territory. Like, am I tripping? Am I being a little coward? Am I being like, no, I'm not. I'm just not understanding that this is what this is supposed to be. And this is what I have to endure and go through. And this is just gonna make me stronger if I look at it for what it actually is. It's beautiful, it's great, I love it, I enjoy it, and I flipped the script. And I took, having to do something I wasn't prepared for, like at the moment, and making that thing like my life. Like this is what it is, and I'm happy, and I enjoy it, and I'm grateful. And once I started doing that, my nerves started to get a little bit better, and now they're getting better and better day by day, because I've accepted, one, who I am as a person, and two, my current situation and where I want to go. And once I did that, I started feeling better. Started to move a little, walk a little better. I said, okay, the little pressure, okay, we feeling better. So depression is real, but I think if you let someone cause your depression, I think that's bullshit. I think you gotta just remove the person or remove the problem. You know what I'm saying? But if your depression is through like your own internal trauma of like maybe where you want to go or what you want to be or who you see yourself as or what's not being done, things like that, well then that's like a lot of self-reflection, and you got to kind of just sit back and go into who you are and just be honest. A lot of times I think the depression stems from us not being honest with ourselves of who we are. Some of us maybe are monsters and aren't being monsters and need to go be monsters. Some of us are being monsters and need to be gentle giants or flower girls or something like that, and they're not doing it. Like a lot of it's just like you gotta be who you feel you are, mentally and physically. And if you do that, you're gonna be successful. If you don't, it's gonna be tough. All right, on to the next topic. Boy, we having a good little talk here. Hey, it's Super Bowl Sunday too. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl for sure. But I told people on top of the economy, jobs being lost and things like that, that if you into things like Bitcoin and the stock exchange and all that, I would jump out of it ASAP. Because one, I think those systems have always been rigged, right? It's always for the person who has all the insider information. And if you're middle class or lower, you're not about to have no information. Not enough to actually make a huge dent in the stock market or in crypto or anything like that. And most of the time, especially if you're into crypto and stuff like that, it ain't backed by nothing. So you're just taking a risk. You're putting your money into all these different things that you and your family could use in hopes of what? Hitting it big? Like logically think it out. What does hitting it big actually mean? $1 million, $2 million, 10 million, 20 million. Like if you haven't thought about that, then there's no point playing these games because you're not going to get to those numbers. So just to have a crypto coin or just to have a stock and not really get anything out of it in no amount of time is foolish. Like, oh, I'm gonna have it, and when I'm 60, I'm gonna retire. Like, if you make it to 60, and what you gonna do when you 60 and old and crippled and you can't move? Money gonna be useless. You're gonna be just spending it on the hospitals. So at the end of the day, a lot of the times you should invest in your actual current present, okay, and let that stack on stack and stack and stack, and then create a better future for you. Invest in yourself every day to make your days better, which makes your weeks better, which makes your months better, which makes your years better. It's just that simple. To be investing and saying, oh, I'm gonna invest in this 50 years from now, hopefully everything comes to, no, that just doesn't make sense. You're not guaranteed that 50 years. So all my people that's in crypto, I try to tell y'all, get up out of crypto, because crypto going down. I'm telling you, this is not gonna be a good year for anybody in crypto. I hope y'all ain't spend a bunch of money on crypto, because if you did,
Yesterday was probably not the day for you. The value of Bitcoin plummeted. At one point, it was selling for under $61,000, and that's now half of its all-time high of more than $126,000, which was reached back in October of last year. Now, this drop comes as tech shares also fell in recent days.
listen, that volatility is too much for me. You talking about October, it was at 126,000. And you talking about November, December, January, February, and it could be cut by half? Nah, bro, that's, man.
In CBS News business contributor.
I ain't playing that game.
Javier, thank you so much for your time today. Okay, so the crypto market experienced one of its biggest downturns in recent months. Just how significant is that, and why is it happening?
Yeah, look, the Bitcoin and the crypto story overall is just very complicated. It's really not just one thing happening. It's the narrative is really multifaceted. Part of the story is this AI-inspired risk aversion that we're seeing all over that's dominating markets. Another is the Fed chair nominee, and people are wondering if he's going to be hawkish or dovish on inflation. Another influence is the liquidation of a lot of leveraged positions and just plain old profit taking that after a stellar rally above 100,000 in Bitcoin. But all of that being said, there are a few things that are abundantly clear. Bitcoin's still having a really hard time convincing a broad swath of the investing public that can be trusted, either as a safe haven, an inflation hedge, or an alternative to paper money, which has a lot of problems of its own. So as you said, it's an asset that's fallen about 50% from its record high. It lost 20% this week at the lows. So it's a high risk, high reward asset. It's made a lot of people rich. Can't knock the hustle or whatever Jay-Z said that one time. But the reality of it is you have to stomach a lot of stomach churning volatility and some pretty steep losses whenever crypto shakes out.
So if you got the money, if you already got a bunch of money to play with, I ain't mad at you. You could jump in, throw your money around, make some money, be straight. But if you trying to use it as a get rich, no, absolutely not. You ain't getting rich off this. Names will make a lot of people rich. They were already rich. Okay? Some people did get rich though. Let me stop playing. Some people came up. All right? Some people came in this game, had a bunch of coins, and the shit went crazy and they came up. But the vast majority of people I know losing money. Okay, don't put your money into stuff that ain't got nothing you can physically. You need to be able to hold it, man. Put your money in a PlayStation or something. At least you can hold a controller. You see what I'm saying? You could do something. This got value. Okay, this got some value to people. A lot of people use stuff. If I was going to invest in something, I'd invest in a stock or something like that. If I was going to invest in that, but I'm not investing in that either. You know why? Because I'm not at the company. I don't got no say. So I'm not about to give you my money and I ain't got no say in nothing. I ain't got no say. I'm part of the company. No, I'm not. I can't just go into the board meeting room and do anything or say anything or grab. I can't do nothing. So I ain't about to invest in nothing that I can't be a part of for real. So I'm trying to be a part of something. That's just me, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I'm trying to be a part of something. I ain't trying to put my money into nothing that I can't physically put my hands on or be a part of. That just doesn't make sense to me. I don't even know how we got to that point where people thought it was okay to just invest in things that they actually can't touch. They can't put their hands on. They can't, it don't make sense to me. That's just goofy. All right, y'all. Now you're about to get into some crazy stuff, because you can't just get into stuff right away. The Epstein stuff is crazy. I just don't know how they can release 3 million pages of files, right? And I feel like ain't nothing happening. This is just entertainment at this point. They just messing with us. Like they just want to see how much they can put on us and what like. This is what I've learned from COVID and from the Epstein files. That people are going to just take. They might cry, but they gonna take it at the end of the day. You can take that for what it is. If you understand what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying. And they know it now. They can do what the fuck they want to do. They want to call the pandemic, put everybody in a house and around the world and remove businesses and do all that and make up some shit and make up vaccines and all this other stuff and give it to you and tell you it's good. You might whine a little bit, but you're going to take it. If they want to put kids on islands and do all this crazy little stuff and eat babies and do all this stuff and call it pizza and all this random stuff they talking about and set up Michael Jackson and act like Michael Jackson was the one touching kids when there's really these other people touching kids, you gonna believe it. And you gonna take it. That's what they've learned. This is all like a big ass test. This is what I see. Let's see how much they're gonna take. And this is just the mass populations of people around the world. And I don't know who controls what. I don't know who dictates what. But I know these motherfuckers are smart. I know they got a lot of motherfucking influence. And I know they playing games. Because it feels like a game. Let's just change this a little bit and see what happens. Let's see how they react. Let's do this and see if there's an uproar. Okay, nothing. Let's do it. Like, that's what it seems like. It just seems like they're just trying things. We're going to try this, try that, try this, try this, try that, and see how much chaos we can cause and see what the response is. Okay, no big response. Okay, we could do this. No big, okay, we could. And what I've learned is most people are cowards. They are not going to stand up for what they actually believe in. They're not going to fight for what they actually believe in. They're not going to do anything that puts them at actual risk. Yeah, they might go to a protest with a bunch of people that ain't gonna turn to nothing. Ain't no change gonna come from it. But they're not gonna stop paying their taxes. They're not gonna rally up and go do something that's gonna really make a difference. It's not gonna happen. If you haven't learned that the vast majority of human beings on this planet are going to take what's given to them, then you are just living in la la land. Man, they just, yeah, people just gonna take it. They just gonna take it. They gonna take the abuse. They just are. People gonna take whatever they put in front of you. This is what the news is. This is what it is. Okay. It's just, yeah. People don't think for themselves. I don't think people really have minds or brains or souls. I don't know what people got, but let's get on some entertainment stuff. Since whoop-de-doo at this point. Hey, so if you are a sports fan, we got the Patriots and the Seahawks. At the beginning of the year, I said the Patriots gonna go far, so I'm going Patriots to win the Super Bowl this year. I don't know how entertaining it's gonna be, to be honest. I don't really think it's gonna be entertaining, but we gonna watch. We gonna watch. What else? One more thing I want to leave y'all with today. Hope y'all doing well out there. Oh yeah, the Epstein files. So the person that we gotta hear from on this list that we have not heard from is Jay-Z. Jay-Z, where you at? You been hiding. It's the Super Bowl. Ain't you part of the Super Bowl, Jay-Z? Where you at? I want to know what you was doing on the islands, okay? I want to know what Jay-Z was doing on the islands, and then I want to know what Bill Gates was doing on the islands. I want to know what Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton was doing on the islands. I want to know what everybody was doing on the islands. So if we can get some actual press conferences or something from these people, that would be great. Because I don't understand how they could be out selling us all their products, be all over commercials and all this other stuff. But then when some bad stuff going on, they be quick to be in a hole somewhere. So we gotta find these people, y'all. We gotta find these people. All right, y'all. But other than that, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Make sure you take care of your health. Make sure you take care of your wealth. This ain't the year to be playing games. This ain't the year to be lying. This ain't the year to be bull crapping. Just be yourself, love yourself, and if you can do that, you're gonna be happy. You're gonna live a good life. If you can't do that, it's gonna be tough for you. I'm telling you, it's gonna be tough. All right, y'all. It's your boy Leroy Mitchell. Deuces.
Yeah, you know, lately, man, like, I don't really know what's been going on in my head. Like, I don't know if I, like, love myself or, like, I don't know. I've been trying to figure it out, though. Check it. Yeah. I heard them say on this tender dish. I really think they mean my penmanship. They take my kindness for friendliness. I know they hope to see me penniless. I keep it moving like a Michelin. Yeah, I'm changing rooms, no more fitting in. I'm too cold to feel warm again. Yeah, whether you like it or not, I'm storming in. This money pouring in. I had to make it rain on these women, cause while live life without a little sin, I won't be poor again. For the 50th time, leave me alone, can finish with too many men. And that's enough said. Bitch, I'm well fed. It's up to you to pick up the crumbs to get a little bread. I'm watching Walking Dead, I feel misled. Who knew taking a shot was the way to get ahead?